Alrighty, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. All right, guys. So we got some exciting stuff going on today. I'm going to start off with NQ here because NQ is what was my little canary in the coal mine last night. If you were in the Discord, you knew about this ahead of time and you knew what to do off. Well, you didn't know what to do, but you knew what was likely off of open. And now we have gotten that scenario. Now I'm actually going to come over to QQ. I didn't change this since last night, so that's just been a thing. But I do want to point out over here, you broke your minor low over here. You came down and tested your minor, they're not minor. You came down and tested your major low over here. And that is something that has not happened this whole entire time, all right? All of these big lows. And that's what I was trying to point out in yesterday's video. Thank you, someone, for clarifying that. I must have just literally forgotten what a minor low and a major low is, and minor highs and major highs are. And that's what I was pretty much trying to say, except I just forgot the terminology, all right? But I was trying to point out on your micro time frames, you did end up breaking down there. You had the lower high over here, and then you started making your lower lows. And then on the daily time frame, this is what I personally was saying, like, hey, if you want a safe short, you want to wait for this thing to be broken or tested. That is what you were looking for. Now I was pointing that over here on QQQ. All right, QQQ was not open when NQ was doing so last night, but I did point out in the Weeble update, I think, as well as in my, I think I also pointed that out in my YouTube video. We did have the CCI all the way down here, so I was not looking for this thing to just fall off a cliff. I was saying, like, hey, you're likely going to be getting a bounce. You had ES having the same exact condition over here. Your stochastic and CCI was oversold. All right. Typically, guys, like QQ and SPY can do their thing, but if you have the futures not agreeing, I typically do end up seeing, you see the futures get their way. And that's why we pay attention to these here on the channel. Now, I will tell you right now, my guarantee to you guys here on this channel is, I promise, you will be consistently getting insights that you will very likely not be finding all over the interwebs in one consolidated place. So I got you with that. That is my guarantee to you here on the channel. Now, we're going to get back to talking about this in a little bit, but I'm going to pair this up with what came out this morning. So this was the survey that I told you guys, I think it was about a week ago. I was like, hey, the fear and greed index, all right, it's not the best gauge, all right? This thing is what I wanted to use, all right? This is the thing I wanted to be waiting on, all right? We got it this morning. Here it is, all right? You see it's 44% bullish. I'm telling you right now, that is agreeing with everything I'm seeing across the board, and we're going to go over that in this video, right? You have 24.3% bearish over here and neutral. Now you come down here, right? This is literally 1 year. This is the most bullish you've been the whole entire year. That is the thing, okay? You're above the historical averages. That is also a thing. So you see, we're more bullish than we normally are, and we are the most bullish we've been this whole entire run. Now, pair that up with what I've been pointing out across the channel. I told you guys, all right? I didn't have any confirmation on this. Now I have confirmation. Yes, across the board, you are seeing, sick, nasty, bullish sentiment. I've been trying to tell you guys on Twitter. I just keep seeing, like, anybody who posts anything like what I'm pretty much pointing out here. I'm telling you guys, I'm not a perma bear, all right? I told you guys, all right? I'm going to be trading with the trend. I have no reason to do anything else after, I clearly saw. All right, I went back tested. There's literally no reason. You could have rode QQ the whole entire time as long as you just traded with the trend. You had no reason to be bearish up until, like, you could have traded these, these smaller time frame breakdowns. But until you got these big breakdowns of these tests of, now I know to call them the major lows, yeah, we had no reason to be bearish, okay? So I'm just telling you right now, I'm saying there's plenty of reason to be bearish up here. That is what I'm getting at. I'm not saying you can't go higher, but you are at the 0.618 Fibonacci on QQQ over here, so the NASDAQ. And then what do you also have? And you do have that gap fill right above. That can be filled because we already put this, we didn't put a lower low in, but we tested this last low over here. Because that happened, I am personally looking for a lower high here. And, hey, that's why I'm just going to tell you right here, all right, if you're taking a short out right here, I think this is an ideal, this is an ideal entry for a short swing here. All right, I'm going to point out in this video, we're actually going to point that out right now, QQQ. All right, we're going to come over to June 16 expiration. I'm going to point out, you can come all the way down here to 340, and the dealers really won't be paying out many more puts than they will calls. All right, so it is in their best interest to start bringing down. You see how this is 37,000, all right, this is 30,000. Well, they can, You see what I'm talking about? 5,000, 6,000 over here, 4,000 over here. All right, dealer's best interest to bring it down. Now, on top of that, I'm actually going to come over here to IWM. Where is my IWM? There's my IWM. And I am going to point out, hey, guys, we clearly are seeing signs of that rotation. Now, I pointed out to the Discord a rather low-risk entry over here, a long entry. If you want a long entry, I would consider this. These are the places to do it. All right, I would do it right here at this support 183.50ish. All right, and then you have that clear as day risk level. If you start getting like say an hourly close under there, hey, you cut it and wait for the next one. Now I'm also going to point out something else I told them, which is this range here, guys. So we spent months in this range. What is this? 3 months, right? March 15th all the way up until June. All right, guys, we spent quite some freaking time in there. We spent all of April, all of May. We finally broke out in June. So you got 2 to 3 months going on inside of this range. And guess what? You just started to break out. And guess what? You're also at the next resistance. So are we about to turn this big thing into a range? I don't know. All right. I have no idea. But I'm going to tell you right now, we are seeing signs of strength on the small caps over here, which means if you do end up getting this opportunity down here, I'm personally going to be taking it. I think we could see something literally like, it's either going to be something like, well, I'm not even saying that. I'm saying you play the range, all right? You play the range, or you could come down here and see something like that, and that's what I'm saying over here, all right? It's either you get one opportunity or the other. You could take your shot at both, all right? You have a clearly defined risk level right here, all right? Clearly defined risk level right here, all right? Hourly close back inside their range. Even on the back test, you did not close back inside the range. So, just an idea for anybody out there. But yeah, getting back to this over here, guys, all right? Or come back over to NQ. You are getting the back test as we speak of this this previous spot that we broke down through. And if you do end up, if you start seeing sellers come in here, then yeah, I would assume you're probably going to push lower into that June 16 OPEX because of what I just pointed out. That is just, that's my opinion there. Now what we can do is we come over here to SPY. Let's come over to the 4-hour time frame. I'm going to point out your stochastics is over there. So if you want to short something, I really would be shorting tech. I understand tech has been the strong one, but now tech is the one showing weakness. Now I'm also going to point out, all right, SPY is in like pretty much the same scenario that QQ was when it was up here and it started to bust through that low, all right? But you started bouncing, all right? So you really do want to see closes under these lows, all right? That is really what I personally would be looking for. But yeah, also, I'm just going to point out, all right, if anybody is interested in the Discord, I'll be day trading in the Discord every day from 9:30 to 11:10 a.m. And then I am going to be done. I got done pretty early today. There's some good scalps out of this. But yeah, I will have your pre-market levels and I will be, calling those out on the spot along with all of my other intraday updates and trade ideas over there. Another one was AMD. We did end up, we're approaching that target right now. That is a thing. But yeah, hopping back over to SPY, you did end up bouncing. You held that support. All right. So you held the support, which means you do have the chance for coming back up here. Now I'm going to point out over here on the hourly time frame. No, on the 15-minute time frame. All right. This is what I was watching for. All right. If you do get the hourly close above this level, this is what I was telling them over there. You do have a open door all the way up to here. You really don't have any, the door is completely open to come back up to this previous high. What was the previous high? It was a double top. So you would be forming a triple top or you'd bust through it. It does look like you are getting rejection here, which is why I picked the hourly time frame to do so. You can clearly just see this was an area that, yesterday you could not bust through it. So, just something to point out. Where did I draw this on? The 5-minute time frame? Oh, it was the 5-minute time frame. All right. Yeah, guys, I've been using the 5-minute time frame. If you're in the Discord, just know you are going to see a lot of that just because that's what I've been doing my day trading scalping off of. And that's what I, off the 1 minute and the 5 minute is what I made my scalping strategies off of. But dude, I'm serious, guys. SPY is so freaking clean. You can come over to QQQ. QQ was pretty clean as well. But, QQ, I'm going to be straight up, right? I'm not going to be day trading QQQ just because it's kind of chaotic. You don't really stay range bound like SPY does. It's just not as clean price action, right? This was so sexy. You come down to the 1 minute, guys. Look at this. You had a sick, nasty double bump. Came back up to the pre-market support. All right, boom, rejected. Came back. Like, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful what's going on. Look at this. You literally could have played this freaking retest right here. There, I missed that one. But it's like, look at this, dude. Look at this. That's so sexy, dude. That is, I'm sorry, guys. I love charts. All right, but now that you guys have seen this, we could take that off of our tabs up there. And actually, let's come on over to the VIX, because this is actually something we were just talking about in the Discord, which is VIX. All right. So guys, I'm just going to let you know, which ChatGPT just told me. I thought it was 45-day options. That's what it was derived of. I knew they were short term. I didn't know it was 30-day. But, you know, ChatGPT says the VIX is derived from 30-day options on SPX calls and puts on SPX. So the fact that this thing is down here confirms, like, the fact that that sentiment survey just came in showing that confirms what I've been saying about VIX. All right, people could call VIX broken all they want. I'm pretty sure VIX literally just gets derived from the calls and puts on SPX. Yes, there's CODTs. I'm not going to deny. That's definitely throwing a monkey wrench in the mix. I'm not going to deny that one. All right, but it is undeniable that you are seeing bullish sentiment across the board now, and now you're seeing that's at a yearly high. That's something you have not had the entire time. Bears have continuously just gotten squoze here. So, you know, we do have a chance at running back up, but even on that run up, I'm just going to say, like, yeah, I'm going to wait for the confirmation, just like we had over there. We're starting to break down. But like, hey, you now know that, you know, it's, you know, most people are going to feel the pain if you go to the downside. That is what I'm getting at. Plus, over here on VIX, you know, I've been telling you guys, yeah, this is derived from the calls and puts, which means there are more calls than puts. Now, let's take a look at the put to call ratio. I was also pointing this one out. The fact that this thing it's been hanging out down here, it hasn't had these massive spikes. Guys, this is literally why VIX hasn't been spiking, right? This put to call ratio, all it is, you know, if it's under 1, more calls than puts. If it's over 1, you know, more puts than calls. And VIX moves down when people are buying more calls than puts continuously. That's just how VIX is derived. So the value of VIX is derived. Excusez-moi. All right, so jumping over here to DXY, I'm going to point out DXY did start breaking down. We do have the FOMC meeting next week. I believe that is on Wednesday. We also have PPI on Wednesday. Then we have CPI on Tuesday. So whatever those come in at, I'm sure those are going to influence what the Fed does. All right, I'm just saying. Now I'm going to remind you guys right now. All right, so charts predict the news, right? Charts, like the vast majority of the time, I understand there's been some monkey wrenches thrown in the mix the past few months, but like most of the vast, we'll say 8 out of 10 times. That's my number. 8 out of 10 times, the charts will predict the news. If you fall into these events, you're more likely to rally out of these events. Say we fall into CPI and say we tank off CPI. There's a high likelihood that we don't tank off PPI in the Fed. There's a high likelihood that you get squoze on the Fed. And say we rally our butts off into CPI. And then CPI makes us rally a little bit more. Well, I would probably look at that thing. Oh, that thing's probably putting in the top. Now you got, you know, you're rallying your butt off into the Fed. Now, say you just trade flat for this. Either way, if you rally into the FOMC meeting, you know, it's more likely that you do end up getting a sell off that. All right, guys, a lot of people just use news. I'm going to tell you right now, all right, you follow the charts, you're not going to have problems. All right, that is just, you know, that's my opinion, but that's really how I see things. I think that is pretty much it. That's all I really wanted to show you guys. I want to point out over here, VIX is using the June 2021 low as support, or not support, resistance right now. So it is literally finding resistance on that low, which is something to point out. You know, I'm just saying we do have a chance of coming down here 1338, and that's why I was saying in yesterday's Weeble update, hey, all right, if the 4-hour CCIs are down here, you could end up seeing exactly what you saw over here. And that's why I remade the video yesterday, and I was like, hey, I realized, you know, after I said that probably sounded extremely bearish, and I want to let people know, like, hey, no, I still fully acknowledge that there is the possibility of this happening, where you broke down from here, and then boom, all right? Because in reality, you did not break on the daily time frame. You didn't come down back and break any of these lows. You did not. Over here, yeah, you're pushing down, and you know you at least tested it. So that's why I say, hey, it's showing that we do have weakness. Yeah, guys. With that being said, let's look at over here on Mr. Apple. So that is something that's also taking place. Apple is literally bouncing right off its support over here. You do have the 4-hour CCI and stochastic in oversold territory, so that could end up, you know, this could lead the charge over here back up into its resistance zone. You clearly do see, though, sellers are lurking. All right. They are lurking. They're ready to pounce at a moment's notice. So if you do push back up here, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a double top. But hey, if you start getting your close above this all-time high, then that is when you're in short squeeze territory. I can almost guarantee, yeah, if you get a close above this, you're probably going to have a bunch of shorts the next morning sitting there saying like, holy sweet baby, holy, let me cover. So, you know, that's just a simple market psychology there. All right, guys, with that being said, I will now catch you in the next one. Everyone have a lovely rest of your day. Please like the video if you found value in this, or if you just were entertained, if it made you laugh, whatever it may be. There you go. Catch you in the next one.